Hey there, Patriots. Welcome back to Front Lines. This is Death Watch here to give you guys more intel so you can update your personal armory and fight back against the fake news media machine. And there was a protest at Disney HQ in California where protesters came out there to boycott Disney and call for Bob Chapek's job, right? And so we're going to listen to old buddy here simply grovel because not only are conservatives, boycotting Disney and saying that this guy needs to be fired, but also the left. The left are like, "Yay, Bob Iger, and all these other people have been trying to play both sides of the political aisle to get favoritism for your company. You either gonna pick us or you're gonna, pick them, right?" The left is giving him a moratorium, and the right are just flat out just like, "Yo, you guys want to go political, you guys want to push these type of things onto children, especially all this LGBTQ, all this other crap. You guys want to enter the political field and openly endorse the indoctrination of kids against your political opponents. We will get rid of every single legislative protections that you guys have. So you want to play this game? Well, game on. You will lose, we will win, right?" So let's listen to Bob Chapek kind of grovel here.
Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day for this very important session. By now, I hope you've all read my most recent note, in which I pledged to be a better ally for the LGBTQ plus community, apologize for not being the ally that you needed me to be, and committed to ensuring that our company lives up to its values. I meant every word, and that's what we're here to talk about today. I know that we've got work to do, and that work starts with listening. I'm glad the company will hear from today's panel of LGBTQ plus employees, and I hope that you are as impacted as I've been by the voices that I've heard over the past few weeks. I've read many emails that have been sent, spoken with LGBTQ plus employees and their allies, met with advocacy groups, and convened my own leadership team. And I have been taken by the honesty, the openness, and the urgency of their stories. I want you to know that your words have made a real impact on me. I understand that we've made mistakes and the pain that those mistakes have caused. And I know that our silence wasn't just about the bill in Florida, but about every time an individual or institution that should have stood up for this community did not. I and the leadership team are determined to use this moment as a catalyst for more meaningful and lasting change. We've heard many suggestions on how to do that, and we are working to move quickly. I want to thank the LGBTQIA Plus Advisory Council, their allies, and everyone else who has submitted ideas on how we can take action. I am convening a meeting with all my direct reports and representatives of the Advisory Council to discuss the thoughtful suggestions that have been made. But we know the moment requires urgency and words are not enough. So we are taking some actions right now.
Okay. Lip service, right? Same thing I said about the other Disney exec that was like, well, we're going to try to push for more, the future movies that we make. At least half of the cast will be some sort of representative of the LGBTQ whatever community, right? It's all lip service, right? She comes out and says that, well, I have two children, one is transsexual and one is pansexual, and I didn't know that we didn't have that much representation in movies and things like that. And it's like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. You didn't know that you didn't have like half the cast was like some representative of whatever, right? Some other far left bullshit. It's all lip service at the end of the day. Everybody's calling for Bob Chapek's, complete removal from the company. That lady who was making all those excuses was literally just trying to claim, in my opinion, she was literally just trying to save her own ass, right? By coming out and saying, well, my kids are trans and pansexual. Who knows is that, if that's true or not. We just had to take her word for it. But it seems like she was just saying that for lip service to, hopes that they don't go after her because she's an executive after they get done, putting Bob Chapek on the spike for everybody to see. Hey, this is what happens to anybody in leadership who doesn't curtail to the left. But at the end of the day, all of this because they cannot indoctrinate kids, right? This bill just literally says you cannot talk privately with children or make any type of extracurricular activities, anything part of the curriculum at school dedicated to teaching kids between the ages of 4 and 10 about sex, sexuality, sexual orientation, gender expression, and all this other shit. You just can't talk to kids about that. You can't make any, or you can, it's not, you can't just make any like classroom discussions, right? You can't make it part of the curriculum to talk about these things. In fact, if you do, you got to at least have some consent from the parents, right? You have to have consent from the parents. You cannot talk to kids behind their parents' backs. That's literally all it is. And the left is going ballistic, right? Check out my Rumble exclusive video that I went more deep into this, why it is so important for the left to try to get your kids indoctrinated within their ideology without your consent. Because for years now, going back to a previous article and video that I talked about, where MSNBC came out and their host openly said that, hey, people need to get rid of this idea that parents have private ownership of their children, right? She literally using socialist talk that the private idea, the private notion that you, the parents, should have the sole custody over your child and what they learn and what they, what they think and things like that needs to be erased. Children belong to the community, and therefore it's everybody within the community's objective and responsibility to indoctrinate your children, right? To tell your children different things and regardless of what you think. And that's sick. They want to take your children and do whatever the hell they want with them and then not tell you about it, right? They're pushing things within legislations within these communist countries, well, basically communist countries, but all these other commie states. They're literally trying to push laws to get your children to do certain things without even telling you about it, without your consent, without parental consent, okay? And so let's go to this protest that was going down at Disney.
Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott!
So definitely check out Frontlines with Drew Hernandez. This is all part of Turning Point America. Tons of videos that he has here, the YouTube link here in the podcast about him talking about it. Watch. Parents, grandparents, Disney consumers, a Disney employee just pissed off Americans have a message for Bob Chapek in Disney.
To the head of Disney, Bob Chapek, right now. If you could say anything to him regarding this, what would you say?
Resign. You need to resign. I will never spend another dollar at this company ever again.
Stop. Absolutely stop. Let little girls and children be children. Get your head and your hands out of their underwear and out of their minds.
Don't cave into this wokeism. It's not going to work out.
Let children be innocent. They need to put morals first. And our kids deserve to be raised with morals.
Give it up, man. We're changing this whole agenda. We're changing the whole narrative.
No company, no business has business deciding for your family how to raise your kids.
There's a line being drawn in the sand. There's no more gray area. Now is the time to stand up.
We need to fight for our children. They're children. Let them be children.
You're a bunch of pedophiles.
What's your message?
I mean, here we go. These are parents, exactly. They want to get rid of the idea that parents should have the right to have exclusivity to their own damn kids. That's insane. They want to use the powers of the government to strip away your parental consent to do whatever, for the government to do whatever the hell they want to your children. And when they can't, get the government, get the powers within the government, well, then they're going to go to what they know best, culture. They know that culture, and this is why conservatives for years have been underestimating how influential and how powerful culture is. The media, entertainment, all forms of pop culture. They're going into pop culture, right? It goes all the way back to Gamergate and all this other shit where feminists and all these political ideologies, ideologues were entering these spaces and trying to get companies to change what type of messaging, what type of content they were putting out, and they heavily are trying to push left-wing politics within, pop culture, right? We see this in anime. Whenever you see Funimation, Crunchyroll, or these other companies who do dub work, they change certain lines within the anime that you watch in order to, make jabs at certain pop culture topics, right? Where you had in prison school, they talked about Gamergate. Like, you're not one of those Gamergate, white supremacists, are you? And it's like, first of all, that was nowhere in, the original script. And you just toss that in there to take a random dig at Gamergate. Okay, whatever, right? And so you constantly see this type of things being influenced in anime, and now they're trying to push for video games that come straight out of Japan to have certain cultural, right? Certain cultural expectations and sensitivities within that new content, right? And it's like, no, you guys shouldn't be censoring y'all's work just to appeal to the far left, because when they sit here and they try to speak for the rest of us that, hey, you guys need to make your content this way for the American audience because we are more culturally sensitive about certain things. That's not true. No, majority of Americans don't give a fuck. It's the far left that's trying to warp reality. Okay, that's what it is. At the end of the day, they're trying to rewrite reality and try to push it throughout the media in order to, because as long as kids grow up thinking that a lot of this type of narratives that is being pushed through the media, they're going to start slowly identifying with it. They're going to start thinking that it is normal, okay? That all these radical beliefs that the far left are trying to push through pop culture, they're going to start normalizing it. They're going to start saying, well, hey, the content, the media, all this other crap that I consume on a daily basis are constantly telling me about all this far left nonsense. So I just think that, that it's normal, that normal people think about this stuff, and that it is culturally acceptable for me to openly think about these ideas, express these ideas, and then go out and act on these ideas, right? It's all part of the game.
I'm actually here with a Disneyland cast member that is outspoken. What would your message be to parents moving forward? What do we do with Disney?
Cut them off. Hit them where it hurts with the money. Write letters, hit all the corporation points, and then just cut them off. Stop going, stop subscribing, stop watching, stop clicking, don't read the magazines, don't go to the stores.
I'm actually here with a
I said this in my previous video. Instead of conservatives sitting here and just threatening that, Ron DeSantis and Matt Gaetz, where as soon as Disney execs were coming out saying that, yes, because of the House Bill 5057, we are going to start openly pushing certain content within our, our movies and our everyday children's programming in order to counteract what Ron DeSantis is doing. The minute that they openly said that we are going to engage in the political, you guys shouldn't have, sat there and said, okay, you guys go engage in political. Well, we're going to threaten you back and say that we're going to get rid of all the tax exemptions and all the legal protections that we gave you guys, gave you Disney, in order to essentially operate as your own annex part of America, right? The minute that Disney came out and said that we are going to engage in the political and push this type of content within our media in order to change perspectives against conservatives, against the opposite political faction, you guys should have said, okay, bet, and just immediately got rid of all those laws. Just say, okay, we're going to rewrite all these laws, get rid of them, toss them in the trash, we don't care, right? You don't threaten us. We gave you this type of protections because you said that you weren't going to, you weren't going to enter the political. We gave you these protections for a reason. Now that you want to go against it, go against the government, go against us, well then fuck you. We're gonna get rid of all your legal protections that we gave you guys, right? No, it should have been no back and forth. There should be no threats, no, that's the problem with Republicans. They like to sit here and try to call people's bluffs, right? They say, you guys are just bluffing, well, we're going to do this if you guys don't take it back, right? Take it back right now. And then the Democrats and all these progressives just say, no, we're not taking it back. In fact, we're going to just keep pushing more and more and more. And then Republicans just keep going and say, hey, stop, just stop. We swear we will do it. We will do it if you guys do not stop. And again, progressives just like, well, then do it. And then they keep going and going and going. And it always over and over and over. It's always Republicans taking the knee. It's always a Republican saying, okay, you know what? We'll allow you guys to do these certain things. Just promise that you won't go any further, right? And it's like, fuck that, dude. They want to enter the political, get rid of all the laws. You don't even have to announce it. Just do it. Just say, okay, they're entering the political, write all the laws out of existence. Okay, bye. And then when Disney starts getting hit with all those legal fees and all those other taxes, and they sit there and say, what the fuck? Well, we thought we had an agreement of all these protections. You say, well, not anymore, because you decided to enter the political, right? Well, why you guys didn't tell us about it? Well, why the fuck would we? That's all you guys have to do. Just write them out of existence and then go about your days and let them come crawling back to you guys and begging for those legal protections to be re-implemented. And then now they have to come to your table with all your demands, and that's how you win. But instead, it's always the opposite. The Republicans are constantly crawling to their table and trying to make, trying to negotiate with them. Fuck that. Okay? And so a lot of more people are saying, hey, go to Dollywood, right? Go out to all these other, go to Universal Studios, right? Go to Legoland. There's plenty of other companies, theme parks all across America that will really, like to have your money, right? That in more ways than one, deserve your money. Okay, so definitely look for alternatives for family vacations. I know I watch a lot of Clownfish TV, and they keep track of all the craziness that goes down in Disney and how over the course of the years they have been finding new, more ways to kind of scam the average family goer, right? And now with their new Genie Pass and all this other crap, we're in the middle of an endemic. We're in the middle of an endemic. We're in the middle of a recession, constant inflation, and Disney is still trying to find ways to, get more money out the average consumer, right? And so it's not just why even still go to these areas, right? There's no reason to still go to Disney World, Disneyland, or anywhere. Okay, go somewhere else. Put your money where your mouth is. Find somewhere else to go. If you are upset about all this crap, go somewhere else. Stop subscribing to Disney Plus. Stop consuming their content. Find alternatives, because there are alternatives out there for you. And with all that being said, like, share, subscribe. Stay safe, stay sane, be vigilant, and I'll see you Patriots on the battlefield.